Why, hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the City of Mist. Moira and allies just got through witnessing a very interesting and intense scene, and now we shall rejoin them. Hello! Technically,
Hello!
we paused essentially not mid-scene, but right as the scene ended for you, Moira. So realistically, you technically can do more here.
What exactly did I see?
You witnessed probably, because you didn't see any faces. You did roll a failure, I guess, as a reminder, but you still get information.
Yeah.
Because I hate failures just being failures. That's boring. Essentially, you saw a group of faceless shadows bullying another shadow.
Oh, right.
Yeah, at the train track.
Yes. That was pretty much it, though, right? I couldn't really see much else.
In terms of question, that's basically all you asked.
Right.
If anything changes, you're allowed to ask more, but remember, you can always ask me a question. If I determine that requires a roll, I'll ask you to roll. Same with when you're talking to an NPC and you're like grilling them. If they want to answer you, I'm not going to make you roll to ask every single question. That's absurdly tedious. So if you can just get the answer by just looking around using your eyes, I'm just going to give you the answer.
Looking at the scene, I do get one free clue.
You do, yes.
And I had originally asked what happened here.
Yes.
And who did it?
Technically, since you already asked that, I kind of fused them together.
Right.
I hinted. I'll try to be as
that it was. I feel like I remember it being a bunch of people.
Yes, there was a group of people, and like I said, I do want to be more as forward as I possibly can be, at least. One of the boys was basically set on fire, and I said this is most likely the link between the man who was found burned to death, the local representative, Phil Bradley, that died. This is most likely his son.
Okay.
So if you have another question, you can ask it. And I will say this. So I've been talking with Waifu. If there are no more clues to be had, I'll be very clear. So essentially, Moira, if you have other questions, you can ask them. But for the most part, you got the gist of it.
Like I could ask something and you do have answer.
I have an answer for every question you could possibly ask. But in terms of what is like relevant this very second, there's basically nothing left here effectively. So I'm basically letting you know you don't need to like grill your brain for 30 minutes. Like, oh, there's got to be a question. You can always come back here because that's the nice thing about your ability. It's once per scene. You could literally leave, come back 2 days later if you have a question, and then boom, answer it. So
that's true.
It's very true.
Yeah, and then I guess I'm done there. But it was very disturbing, right?
Very much so. I was in.
So I'm a little. I'm probably not doing great.
Yeah, I'm not sure how. I guess after having seen that, witnessed that, how's Moira currently feeling?
Not great. Probably pretty messed up because of the disturbing imagery.
Understandable.
I give you a cheer up potion.
You did, or something like that.
Up,
but I feel like that's something that is going to stay with her for at least the rest of the day. Like, she won't be able to close her eyes without thinking about it.
Fortunately, it's nighttime, I guess, so maybe you won't sleep. Who knows?
Who knows?
And on that note, it is indeed night. We didn't really establish we were doing anything, so we can roll over to the next day if you guys would like.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Excellent. Sounds like a plan. So now it is indeed the next day. Are we meeting up to share notes, or is anyone heading out to do individual investigating? What's the plan?
Well, I need to talk to everybody about what I saw.
Okay. Where would you like to meet?
I guess in Xander's office. That's where we've been meeting, right?
Yep. I have the scene loaded by default because it's the most convenient, and I can look at Waddles or Bacon, whatever we're gonna call him.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and be like, hey, I got some info. We should talk about it at the office.
All right, perfect. You guys are all able to meet up there relatively early. And as you do, the floor would be yours, Moira.
Yeah, well, I basically explained what I saw, how I know it's related to the guy, and that his son was also involved, and the horrendous scene at the train track.
Guess we probably look at that congressman.
Sick. Well, he was found charred, though, right?
He's dead.
Yeah, we need to go look into him and everything around him.
Is there a way that we could get a hold of the body?
Officially, no.
Is there a way we could get into the house? Not officially.
If it involves sneaking, yeah, y'all can definitely. So interestingly enough, you don't really have too much info, but you do know where he was residing. It was in a rather large building, one of the upper floors. The building is fine. The building is still there. You didn't see any fires in the news or anything, so clearly it was not widespread.
Oh, well, that one shop was completely destroyed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to say, like, with spontaneous combustion, I don't think it burns around the victim.
Creepily enough, just the body burns.
Yeah, it's like literally just the body. It doesn't go anywhere else. It's very bizarre.
Very, especially when there's like just a shoe sitting there and then char marks. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Not creepy at all.
Real life creepy stuff.
I love it. My favorite. But yes, if you guys wish to go there, or either of those options are open to you, essentially.
I think it would be worth investigating that, like, kids' friend, or not friend group, but we know that they're, like, children of maybe politicians or something, right?
It led you to believe, yeah. So I guess to quickly reiterate, without going into too much detail, you felt a very wide, like, power dynamic gap between the boy down and the other ones.
Which would be reasonable to think that it's people with a lot of either political power or wealth.
Yes. And the dead man was indeed quite powerful.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pass on all of that on.
Did I hear back about Reginald Albright from my secret sponsor?
You did ask that, didn't you? When you wanted to know about him, what precisely... Did you have any questions in mind, or...?
No, just general info.
Okay. I can definitely give you some general info. I recall you getting a mixed success. I will give you that information after you guys kind of pal around.
Okie dokes.
Just circle it. I actually wrote it down right here. Roxanne looking into Albright.
Rocks!
And... no, just rocks.
Just rocks. Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
I mean, realistically, we kind of have to do it every time her name is said. If we don't say it out loud, my brain's going to say it. Someone's going to say it somewhere.
So fair.
All right, so what are we going to do first?
I'm sneaky. Where would you like to send me?
What is the most sketchy place that you need to get into? That's the real question that I would not be able to get away with as a regular person.
You guys know the absolute hardest thing to look at would be the physical body, especially with a larger group.
I think you should go find the body.
I'll go solo.
The other one you guys can do together, realistically.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you should still have some kind of backup nearby.
My backup is my brother.
I guess that's true.
I'm going solo with my brother and this guy and this guy and this guy.
I'm never alone.
Okay, then why'd you say going solo?
I mean, without you guys.
It's her brand.
Yeah, it's my brand. Gee,
I'm alone, but not without my pack.
But basically, she's trying to look cool, and you're
yeah, I'm gonna pop my collar and pull my hood down low.
She's trying to look cool. You're ruining it.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Hold a second. You have both a collar and a hood. What are you wearing? What does this outfit look like?
Honestly, it's probably my vigilante outfit underneath regular clothes.
I was definitely imagining like a really douchey polo with like a shit hoodie on,
but with hoodie sweatshirt on underneath.
That's what I was imagining.
Yes,
that's so much better. I definitely was imagining the hoodie over top of whatever the weird collar was coming from.
Weird.
So
I don't see Roxanne in a polo shirt. That didn't. Oh.
That's why I was like, where did that come from? What are you wearing with the
only
collar?
Work if I was trying to sneak in somewhere I really don't belong.
And then you're like, it's a double-breasted trench coat. God. Anyway, I guess I'll head to the house of or the apartment of what's his face to see if we can find anything there.
Okay. And realistically, it's a high rise, so y'all could go there together if you wish. Roxanne, since you're alone, we will go ahead and do your scene first. So you're essentially this happened long enough ago that it's going to be difficult. So Are you trying to find the physical body? Or are you trying to sneak in and look at like the report?
Well, I suppose if the body's still there, I'll take a look, but I'm going to go for the report first.
Okay, this will definitely be an all day thing for you just because there's a lot of shit to sneak in. But you know what you're doing. So, Miss Roxanne, if you'd like to roll me some sneaky. Fortunately for you, this is very hard for you to fail. As long as you...
Yes, I also have an improvement for my sneak.
Specifically that, yes. Any sneak result goes up 1 tier.
All right, let's see. I'm going to move in the shadows.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. Would hidden vantage points work here or no?
I would say yes, only because you are literally going from shadow to shadow in order to huzzah.
All right.
So question, I'm fine either way. Do you recall the phrasing of Mask of the Mundane? That upgrade? You don't have to use a tag from Conjuration, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that'd be weird. Just checking. All right, so you were moving into a building that is obviously occupied by people. It is during the day. Regardless of what time it is, unfortunately, there's going to be lights on. So in terms of weakness tags, go ahead and use light sensitivity under defining event. Dear God, woman. All right, well, go ahead and add attention to...
So how do I plus tier 1 that?
You don't, because you don't have dynamite unlocked. Basically, you super freaking do it. You do it as much as one can do it. So go ahead and add attention to defining event, which will now level that. So we'll poke that later. And you're going to sneak in with no issues whatsoever, Roxanne. Yes, it does go up 1 tier. I'll just say you're going to do this a bit faster, maybe, than you were expecting. You, follow the usual, this guard's going left, this guard's going for a donut, etc., etc. You know how the business works. We're going in light and easy, quick. You're able to sneak through, jumping from shadow to shadow through the precinct.
I finally done something cool for once.
Yeah, you do plenty cool things. If you're alone and fail, then it's a little more awkward. No one can see you fail.
What was it, my brother?
True. He'll look away and pretend like you succeeded.
He's the coolest.
Indeed. You're able to jump from shadow to shadow whilst in the precinct, dodging any potential eyes. There isn't even a chance of you being caught, Roxanne. Maybe you timed things properly. Things are a bit more lax today. You're also fairly early, so not everyone's charged up. You're able to get to one of the back rooms, and right as the individual there is kind of packing up and moving some things around, they are stuffing something away in one of the metal filing cabinets. They kind of slam the door, sigh, they walk out, and the room seems to be all yours.
I will skulk to where the reports should theoretically be.
Alrighty. Roll me some investigate, and we'll get that many questions. And we'll have no weakness tags on this one. We don't need them.
I don't think I can do any positive tags either.
For real?
No, I don't think any of these fit.
Excellent. Well, good luck. Hey, I won. Alrighty, well, you get a question. What do you want to know?
That's really limits me. Okay, and this is about the body, right?
Yeah, so essentially what you're going to know, Roxanne, is that dude might be coming back sooner than you expect. Your shadows are obviously on guard and looking for you, but for whatever reason, you're hearing more activity suddenly. You haven't been seen, but fate is not in your favor as of current. You have the thing in front of you. You can technically take it, but these are obviously, rare documents. So you can ask like one good question. I will fully answer it.
Anyone have suggestions?
For questions?
Yeah. We do know that it was...
We only get the one, though, right?
Yeah, just one. We do for a fact know it was self-combustion, right?
So I will say this. You pop it open and you see some photos of a burned individual, and you see tons of information. Some of it's been redacted. There isn't as much information as there probably should be for writing an article, as you guys are aware that it was just written that he passed away. They did not go into detail. So very hush-hush.
So we don't know if it was self-combustion.
I mean, to be fair, the spontaneous combustion was a educated guess.
Indeed. Now, if you'd like,
actual fact.
If you'd like, Roxanne, I can pause your question because they're going to the physical site and they're going to get more answers that way. This way you don't double dip. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. And you guys should text me what you find.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. We'll rewind ever so slightly. You guys are headed over to the high-end, high-rise apartment complex. Obviously, this room and this floor is going to be cordoned off, definitely locked away. So Moira, Radaya, and Xander, how do we plan on getting in? What is our plan of attack?
How busy is it?
Relatively early in the morning. So there are people leaving for work. There are other folks that are just kind of roaming around in general. as long as we're in the, I guess, away from the business side of this apartment, which you guys can just take an elevator up, there shouldn't be too many people roaming the halls realistically. And this happened some time ago, so there's no active police force guarding the room, but there's, of course, tape.
I'm just going to go in then. If I don't think anybody's in there. Unless I have reason to think that there's something in there. Do I have reason to think there's somebody in there?
I don't believe I've said anything that would lead to that. It should definitely be unoccupied. If there's someone in there, they shouldn't be in there.
You ever see those crime TV shows where like the detective comes over and they like lift up the crime scene tape and completely ignore it, and then they go right on into the crime scene?
So the door is locked.
That's me.
The door is definitely locked.
I kick it open. How dare you say that to me? What do you mean the door is locked? Can somebody unlock it, though? I don't actually want to break it.
I'm an alchemist. I don't know how to pick locks. Xander was trying to do it before.
Indeed, he did make a key that one time.
I could open it, I guess.
Yeah, go for it. Realistically, just roll me, go toe to toe. We're just doing a thing. Real nice and easy. We just need to keep quiet about it.
What kind of lock is it?
It is a standard everyday lock that makes it a bit nicer, only because of, where we currently are, but not any more complicated, realistically. Nice. Sorry, with a 12, we fully get in with no issue. No guards are alerted. We don't make any extra sound, and we can easily close the door on the way out. This door is picked, and we move on in. The first thing that you all see after you move past the caution tape, do not enter, ignore that, close the door behind you, is indeed a quite nice room. Not too dissimilar from Xander's office. Just amp it up, bouge, a couple levels. Nice plush carpets, very expensive furniture.
Oak flooring.
Yes, this individual that's saying here was clearly attempting to flex their wealth. Without skipping over it, you instantly see, next to said, oak desk, char marks. There's, of course, more tape over there. But looking around this room, the room itself is not burned. It seems all the damage is in one location only.
So it does kind of look like spontaneous combustion.
It does, yes.
Okay. Can I take a picture?
Yeah, definitely.
Phone?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to take a picture, send it to Roxanne, and I'm like looking suspiciously like spontaneous combustion over here, but we'll keep looking into it.
Realistically, other than that, this is a 2-3 room, not including bathroom, of course, apartment, so it's actually relatively small. This first open area is like a living room / meeting room. You're not really sure if he like lived here, if it was like a halfway between work and where he actually lived. But this place is clean for what happened here. Nothing's really knocked over. All seems to be in order, from what you can tell.
Can I just like investigate?
Yeah,
in
definitely.
General.
Are you looking around the room? Are you looking at the burns?
So I want to start where the burns are, and then I want to like move out.
Okay. Tell me what you're looking for, because this might not necessarily require a roll. Xander was able to sneak in very easily, so no one's alerted to your presence.
I guess I want to see if there's like any sign of a struggle, if there was anything that seems out of place, maybe in this really fancy office space. But
that does not belong.
Yeah.
Definitely. So in general, looking at this location, you can see where the victim was is incredibly obvious. There's the desk, and then to the left of the desk, if you were facing it, are where all the burn marks are. There is a burnt hand mark, as if they were leaning on the desk and then set on fire. You can actually almost make out where each finger was. And where he was standing and then collapsed, all the carpet there seems to be burned. There's not really like a human-shaped imprint on the ground. It looks as if he burned very quickly, hit the ground. Roxanne, this would reflect the photos, the images that you have there. The bones that were left, there was no skin on them, is just kind of curled up right in that exact spot where Moira's looking.
It's definitely him, right?
Yes, it most definitely is.
Yeah, I mean, like dental records matched and all that.
Yes.
Okay.
So Roxanne, you can have that for free. And also Moira, this is something you could I think you could guess this with your line of work. If they thought he was not dead, they wouldn't want to release this kind of information out to the public. So they would say
at least release that he was
right, meaning
gone.
They confirmed it's him.
Gotcha. That does make sense.
Yeah. If they weren't sure, they would not have said anything.
Yeah, that's fair. Would I have any reason to think they were talking to somebody?
Judging by the position of the hand, it looks as if they were leaning on the desk and facing outwards towards where you guys are standing, which is where a customer or a guest would have walked in. So yes, that would make sense.
Okay. So is there anything else in the room that seems weird?
Honestly, no. Nothing looks like it was taken. There are no books or anything missing. There don't seem to be any like secret doors or walls or switches or anything. His desk is relatively clean. It looks as if he maybe knocked like one or two things over, but just barely because he was at the edge of the desk and it happened so quickly.
Okay. Was there anything that he was working on that was left on the desk?
If there was, it would have been taken into.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything left for me to find?
Not really at this point. From what you can tell, this is basically just the scene.
All right.
The most telling bit about it would be the fact that nothing is damaged except for where he was standing.
Right. Which is in and of itself pretty odd.
And extremely weird. That's definitely why there were no pictures or anything released to the public, and they didn't talk about it, because this room should be gone. His neighbors should have heard about a fire or something.
That's pretty weird. If anybody else wants to investigate, that's fine.
Yeah, if the two of you have questions, you can definitely ask. But I will say there's not really anything that stands out ttoo much here. If there's something that's burning a hole in your mind, though, you can fling it at me. And Roxanne, of course, if you have your question.
That was funny. That's a good joke.
It definitely looks like the same burnt stuff when that one guy that I was dealing with touched the ground.
I would say the same level of intensity. Yeah, you can make that connection.
I'm still not sure about my question. Can I just can I ask you to give me just one thing or a feeling?
I can. I can also let you know, not that there's no information here, but there's nothing super, super pivotal to the case. Is there anything that's like, I guess, general that you'd want to know about it? Because they obviously do have the actual, location pinned down. Now you have, like I said, the full kit and caboodle there, Roxanne. Meaning any papers he was working on, anything that's on the desk they thought was important, is also shoved in here.
Oh, they grabbed everything.
Yes, everything is here. So that's why you only have time for one question. There's a lot to look at. I guess if you want to know what was on his desk.
Does it look like he was leaning over a document when he burned?
Yes, we'll say with some of the pictures. You don't know this, obviously, because you're not physically there. But the layout of the desk is slightly different because the police team that walked through here basically cleared it, brought anything they thought was important, either removed it, stored it somewhere, or it's in the file with you now currently, Roxanne. You can see next to his hand, it looks like there was some document that you don't know this, Roxanne, is not on the table currently where Moira is. So he was definitely working on something. And if you want to know what that something is, it's probably in here somewhere.
Sure. I'll rifle through his documents.
Sure. What you can effectively see as you're flipping through the documents real quick is some bill or something he was working on to effectively expand like an outdoor mall, something along those lines. And he was in the middle of, trying to get things effectively sealed away and whatnot. This looks like a draft, though, so not the final copy. But from what you can tell, there's just like his name on it. So this is something he was personally working on. It's very much in the, I just, typed this up on my laptop, printed it out, no signature, nothing of that nature. This is just a rough draft of basically a location that you're aware of. We haven't really been there yet because it's not really terribly important. It's basically a strip of like low income housing and apartments. You're aware of this area. So it looks like he was writing up a draft to add like a strip mall to the area.
Okay.
And that's essentially it.
Can I snap some pictures of that?
You very much can, yes. And as you're snapping pictures, you hear the doorknob begin to jiggle as someone is opening it, like mid-picture snap. What do you do?
Time to find the nearest shadow and slide in.
Roxanne, if you jump directly into the shadows, you know that you'll effectively be also dropping this paperwork. Do you wish to do that? You can technically take it with you, but...
You know what? Yes, I'll take it with me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me sneaky sneak then. And you used no tags last time, so use whatever tags you want.
I'm going to use the same 2.
That's fine. Perfect. That brings you up to a full success. So obviously, I'll say this, Roxanne. You have the choice between... And you tell me exactly how this plays out for you. Because full success, you have the ability to do so. While you're holding on to this, you hear the doorknob jiggling. As you turn, you see it opening. This person's not waiting at all. You can hear them mumbling to themselves. And before you, of course, you're holding this manila envelope. The doors are also open, on the metal cabinet that you were looking through. So you already told me that you're taking the thing with you. I'll let you choose between the two of opening, closing the doors, or taking the thing with you.
I'll take the thing.
Okay. And as you are whisked into the shadows, you're still in the room with this individual. They do not see you. They're looking about and they seem incredibly confused as they see all these open doors, mumbling to themselves like, I swear I closed these. Eye roll, and they're kind of looking around, and maybe they get the heebie-jeebies for a second.
I mean, there's several, half a dozen eyes watching them?
Yeah. This is not the best vibes. And as you're kind of sneaking out of this room, you know that taking this with you is going to be a huge red flag if you get caught, of course. You can leave it somewhere if you wish. You can take it with you. That is up to you. As you're escaping, Roxanne, what do you do?
You keep asking me if I want to take it with me. Do you not want me to?
When I said take it with you, I meant pick it up so it doesn't fall on the floor.
Oh, all right. I will finish my pictures and put it back.
Put it back where? Because the guy's in the room.
Oh, he's here with me. Then I'm just going.
Okay.
If they'll just assume one of their employees stole it.
And as you sneak out, this mumbling individual, technically, you can ask an infinite number of questions once you have, secured this and brought it back home. This will, of course, take some time. So it's not going to be nighttime, but it's going to be around, I'd say like 5-ish, 5, 6 by the time you guys kind of finish up all that we're doing here. So you can definitely re-meet back up to discuss what we found.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll head straight for the our hideout.
Perfect. As you're on the way out, Roxanne, you would see this while you're leaving the precinct. People seem to be worried. They're kind of rushing out, and you see a television on. And on said television, you see Kevin Cardwell. This is the individual. Someone walked up to Radiah saying, can I hang a sign from this guy? He's running for governor, basically, mayor. And you see him speaking on the television. Apparently something had just happened not too long ago. There was a fire, really bad fire in a housing district. And it seems they're trying their best to put it out. But, he's usual politician talk, we need to be strong, et cetera. We will catch who did this. Pray for our firefighters, et cetera. There's it's a mess. It's really bad. It is, I'd say, maybe 5-10 miles from Xander's office and where Radiah works.
Can I stop by to take a peek at it?
You very much can, yeah. While the three of you were going back as well, Moira, Radiah, and Xander, you hit the first floor of this building, and the same news story is playing of this fire. So Roxanne, you're swinging by the area, and it is indeed an inferno. All these buildings are up in a blaze.
Okay, so it is like there's like a huge fire, right?
Yeah, huge fire. There's like 4 apartment complexes you see, all on fire. There's like a housing little section that those are on fire. It is messy. There's tons of people outside.
Does it seem like the fires are getting bigger each time?
No, they're definitely putting them out. There are plenty of firefighters here at this point. It just looks like it's spread really quick, and who knows from what.
Okay. All right. Are we all going to meet up there? I guess that would be kind of weird. Anyway, I text y'all about it if you're seeing it at the same time.
Roxanne's physically there, so yeah, definitely. And the 3 of you are together, so all 3 of you would have seen this on TV.
Can I overhear?
Well, I guess it would be more of a question, like, oh, do you want to meet up over there to Roxanne?
I'll just about that I'm already here. Can I maybe sneak up to or send a shadow to sneak up to the firefighters to see if they have any idea where it started?
Sure. I won't have you roll for this. I'll just let you do it because they are incredibly busy and there's a lot going on. But as your shadows kind of sneak up, while they are incredibly busy and distracted, and you see some guys kind of walking off to take a quick break, they're taking a breather and they're pouring water over their heads. You can hear all of them just going like, what the hell started this? Like they seem completely bamboozled. It looks like the flames are starting to die down, Roxanne, but they have burned hard and fast from whatever it was. Someone is guessing, a gas leak. Someone said there was an explosion or something prior to the starting. So it must have, these buildings are old. It must have been a gas leak or something.
Okie dokes.
So Roxanne, did you want Moira to meet you here, or were you going to meet them back at the office?
No, I'll meet them at the office.
Okay. Not too long after that, you all meet back up. Roxanne, she has the whole bundle of news here, so do with that what you will.
Hey guys, look what I found. I don't know if it's important.
Okay, can I have a look at it?
I'll put it in your hands.
what can I gather from this?
What do you want to know? It's literally the entire police file on Philip Bradley.
Oh my god, it's like the comic book all over again. You took the whole file.
I mean, it was either that or get caught.
All right. Is there anything in the file that is like marked "Don't release" to public or something?
Yeah, the whole thing, honestly.
Okay. Is there anything real good in there that I would think about being like, "Ooh, this is"?
It lines up with everything you found, Moira. In terms of what was on his desk, you're able to flip through a lot of that. A lot of bullshit, basically. Just a lot of bullshit. But the one document that Roxanne found, they were about basically a new strip mall that was that's planned on being built. You noticed where the burn is. It was near his hand, near-ish where his hand was. So he might have been discussing this very document whenever this has happened, but it wasn't in the building. It was procured and placed in this document that Roxanne now has, that you all now have. So...
What is the document?
The document is literally just plans on building a new strip mall, among some other things, and the location of the strip mall is currently where the fire is being put out.
I was just gonna ask if that's where it was. Where is the... Yeah. Where is the... Is it... You said it's an apartment building?
What burned down was low-income homes and apartments.
Low-income housing.
Yeah.
Is there anything that links this back to the fire for that one particular shop?
You don't see Radia's shop or the shop that's next to it mentioned or this strip. You do see there's multiple locations that we're possibly looking at. One of them is adjacent to where we currently are, or I guess where Radia's shop is, but not hard-lined like, oh yes, we need to build it right there, because that area is full-ish, to say the least. But it's close by. It's like 5 miles from where the fire currently is. So from what you can tell, they are not connected.
Are there any other names on the documents, like who was involved in the process?
Seeing as it's a rough draft, his name's not even on it. The only way you know it's his is because you found it on his desk. Well, sorry. There's that picture, and you found it in the files.
So there's nothing like on paper that links those two things.
No.
Is it out of the realm of the possibility to think that it is still related?
It's weird. Now, the type of fire is very, very different. I guess to remind you what happened.
Well, I mean, it probably also wasn't spontaneous combustion for the way that other shop burned down. So I don't think it's the same method.
Yes. So
right?
Yeah, Dark and Sensitive, the location next to Radia's shop, that was more an explosion than a fire.
Mm-hmm.
We know it was an explosion that happened from the inside coming outward. So something did not hit the shop, even though it looked that way. The roof blew outward. The only reason there was fire is because probably whatever caused the explosion was hot. Other than that, they are relatively different.
All right. Is there anything else in the file that's sus?
A lot of definitely, things he probably wouldn't want released, but he's dead now, so nothing too crazy.
Doesn't really matter.
Not at the moment, no.
Not anymore.
Definitely sensitive documents. I mean, in terms of what was reported and what you physically have here, it's night and day.
Are there any other names on those documents for people that we could follow up on?
Not that you can see now. He kept things relatively vague, and the other names are not relevant to the current case.
All right. When I get a chance, I'm going to look into those other kids, but anybody else can do what they want to do until then.
It's not super late. Like I mentioned, it's around 6 or so by the time you guys meet back up. So if you guys have any plans or things you want to go out with, either on your own or now that you're grouped back up, anywhere you guys want to go together, you're more than welcome to do so.
Can I go back to that restaurant to see what's going on?
You very much can. Are you going by yourself or the whole group going?
I guess that's up to them.
Where are you going?
Roadside pickup, I assume?
Yeah, the roadside pickup.
I mean, I can go. I do want to look into the school, though.
It's definitely a bit late, so tomorrow would be the best time to look into that, most likely.
Okay, that's fine. I'll plan for that, and then I can go with
Okay. And then Roxanne and Radia, if you don't have anything planned, are we going with?
Yes.
Sure.
All right, perfect. So the four of you pull on up to roadside pickups. Are you looking for anything in particular, Xander? Or are you kind of just scoping the place out? Are you staying on the outside or are you going inside?
I was gonna chill in my car and try to astral project inside to see if I can hear any of them talking about anything suspicious, or if they say anything about Melvin or whatever his name was, to see like where he is.
Go ahead and roll me stealth again. So sneak.
Because last time you said I went there, he wasn't there, right?
Correct. He was not there, which is definitely very weird. I would say also for this sneak, go ahead and use the weakness tag can see demons under relic.
Like on mine?
Mm-hmm. All right, excellent. I'll go ahead and mark attention for you on the Gem Bazaar. And with an 8, you have a mixed success on sneak around. Perfect. So as you're moving about, what precisely you said you're looking for? People chit-chatting about just the drugs, just general?
Yeah, any of the red stuff. That, or just talking about like, going out and bruising up some people, or, like, oh, when's the next drop gonna come, or like when we're gonna get our next fix, or, anything about Melvin or whatever.
Definitely. As you're looking about, you notice the tension here. It was higher before, but it was like more a fun high. Like, if they're gonna start a fight, maybe one person meant it, but everyone else knows it'll be resolved quickly. Not a big deal. People seem frustrated this time around. And once again, your boy's not here. There is no Marvin. You hear a lot of his men, some folk in the back specifically, they're very frustrated. Someone, couldn't say who, let's be honest, knocked up one of their drug dens and destroyed a pretty good amount of material that was about to be sent out. That's unfortunate.
Did they say who did that?
No, they have no idea. They were very frustrated, and you hear, that person, and you're pretty sure they're referring to Rat because they're going out of their way to not say the name. They say, the person we had to deal with. They promised that was secure. They're definitely angry. They're not sure exactly where to point blame because the location's just gone. So Marvin not being here to calm them down, the folk in the back are very, very frustrated from what you can tell.
Interesting. Is it just the people in the back, or like even the people, like if you just walked in, you could tell?
They're not as friendly. We'll just say they might not be getting a good tip today.
Like it's just those guys in the bar, right, or restaurant?
Yeah. So it's not a bar, so there's no bouncers. It is just a restaurant. A little rough and tumble, but still just a restaurant. Anything you guys are keeping your eyes peeled for?
Well, danger.
Do we see any boiler hat guys?
You do not. They seem to be completely gone.
And we haven't bumped into any of those in a while, have we?
No, they are currently in hiding. A reminder is if you interrupted their little ritual, the ambrosia lasts for a year, but that's about the time it was wearing off. So there's a good, pretty high chance that a lot of them don't have powers for a year.
Unless they got more.
This is true.
Could I tell the guy that got attacked that was one of them if he had powers, or?
Judging by the hit that he took, probably.
So I feel like there's something here because you wouldn't make me roll can see demons.
I'm basically waiting for you to. Is that basically all your major questions? If you're not sure, I can say the next part.
No, yeah, I mean, like I was just kind of coming here to see like if they are talking about like maybe they're hearing about another drug deal going on so they can get their fix, or like whatever.
Oh yeah. They are excited to start it back up whenever they can, but they don't know when it's going to be. Marvin's out dealing with it, basically. And while you're kind of looking around, Xander, and, effectively from these folk, you've gotten everything that you can, you do get the feeling that you're being watched. And as you're kind of jumping from room to room and phasing through walls and such, you swear as you go through 2 rooms for a split second, you see eyes burning, watching you from the shadows. And they didn't just happen to see you. It feels like they were tracking you.
So like while I'm in my astral form,
yeah.
I feel like these eyes are on me.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
When you turn to look from where it came from, it's gone. Nothing there. The shadow.
Huh. So I look around and I don't see anything, right?
Nope. You swear it was there though. You could almost feel it watching you.
I'm gonna try casting a spell to show me any demonic energy around me.
Okay.
If it's in hiding or whatever, I want to be able to see like where it is, or if I can get like a scent of it. Like, like in Assassin's Creed when you're following your kill, like you have that like scent towards it.
Yeah, kind of like the Batman vision, basically.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Was it detective vision or what it's called? Sure. I don't think I'll ask for a roll for this because there's not anything currently active, but you sense a presence as if it were there, like a residue. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's not in the one location that you checked. It is there, but it's also in other locations, like strewn about. Not as strong.
Have I felt this feeling before?
It feels, I'd say frustratingly familiar in a way. It does feel similar to the two little demons that y'all took out when you were fighting James Kratt. But for you specifically, Xander, it feels even more familiar. It's so difficult to really point it out, though. You feel as if you could like get your eyes on one, you could solidify why they feel so familiar.
All right, I'm gonna go back to my body.
As you do you relay all this information to the crew?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them right when I pop back in.
Okay. Info dump.
Info dump. There's a demon staring at me in the dark.
Can I ask my shadows to see if they can find the demon?
They jump out, but to no avail. You can't see the residue like Xander can. And if it were there, it legit peace out somewhere else. So, like I said, other than that, tensions are high. Things aren't too great here. And Marvin is not in the building. He might have opened, but Xander, a little extra bit of information. They're somewhat frustrated he's not here to be the face of the business. You know, the charisma. Like, you know, where, like, I understand that he's trying to, you know, do his job, blah, 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 but why isn't he here? A lot of that frustration.
The guys are in the restaurant are?
Yeah. On top of what you heard, that there's also some of that of like, oh God, you know, we're running this by ourselves.
But I didn't hear anyone talk about where he might be.
No, they don't know. That's why they're frustrated. They know he's out either looking for a rat or trying to, you know, go to maybe one of the other locations they had to procure the goods. But things were slowed down and he's not happy.
Is there anything I can do to figure that out?
In terms of finding him, you guys could definitely try to hit the streets. From what Xander heard, though, he does open the store at least. So he is here in the morning. He just has been completely absent at night.
Yeah, I might as well wait then.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else you guys want to do on this day, or just wait until tomorrow and head straight here?
I want to see if I can get files on the school kids who are actually murderers.
Sure, we can definitely do that. I assume you're looking for their files during the night, and then the next day you're all just meeting up here.
Yeah.
What resource are you using to get these files?
Maybe I know somebody who works at the school.
Okay, that works. Go ahead and roll me investigate. And
the risk of being fired.
I like that because this is you're poking a bear. So yeah, definitely use that weakness tag.
They know that I'm a reporter, so I'll use press pass.
Fortunately, you are good at asking questions. There you go. All right, so I'll add an attention there for you. Alrighty. So, what do you want to know precisely? You've got 3 clues. You've also got your free floater clue. So technically 4 if you wish.
I want to know, first, the most likely candidates for who those kids were.
Sure thing. So I do not have all of their names, but I do have one.
The ones that matter.
I believe I think I've already said this name.
Yeah.
Philip Bradley's kid was named Spencer Bradley.
Yeah.
All right, you notice the other 2 kids that you can find information on. It's found much easier, I'll say. Spencer Bradley was, you know, the information you have. I'd say it's difficult to say like where it came from precisely, like dead on. But you notice that, I guess, in a lot of the various reports and things that teachers have to file, we'll say there were a total of 4 kids, and 2 of them were friends of, we'll say, the 2 ringleaders. One of them was Spencer Bradley. The other one was Owen Cardwell.
Okay. Are their parents involved in anything related to Spencer Bradley's dead father?
Philip Bradley is, of course, a local representative. And Owen Cardwell would be the son of Kevin Cardwell.
Yeah, who's Kevin Cardwell?
The guy currently running for mayor. You saw him on TV yesterday.
So
And dropping posters off by my work.
Yep.
Right.
Maybe not him specifically, but somebody running around campaigning for him.
One of his goons.
One of his goons.
Campaign goon.
It's PR people.
Mm-hmm.
So they are vaguely connected.
Yes, so these 4 kids know each other, and something majorly unique, I'd say, that you notice, Moira, is while there are like reports on them of being maybe, roughhousing in class, the verbiage is very particular. There's no accusations of bullying from any 4 of these kids. In fact, both Spencer and Owen, more so Owen, they are on various like after school activities. They're both very smart. Top 10, top 15 from the whole school.
This is distinctly at odds, though, with what I saw in that vision, right?
Yes, very much so.
I mean, to be fair, they've got rich parents.
Yes, so they're...
How can you really trust anything that's in those... Anyway.
Yes, these 2 specifically, Spencer and Owen, you notice that, like I said, the verbiage is very particular on theirs. The other 2, like one of them...
Like it's been changed?
Not necessarily been changed.
Or like it's been made to be looked at.
Yes. If someone were to look at it, they would say, oh, he was just playing around.
Kid.
What a good kid. Maybe he got in trouble once for like pushing someone or, something along those lines, but nothing major. He was loud in class, things of that nature. All the accusations for Owen are very like, oh, boys, very much so. The other 2, not so much. One of them was suspended from the other 2 boys, but these aren't as important. They're more goons, if you will. But the cleanest records are both Spencer and Owen.
Of course. Not surprising, though, because their son's a politician. Okay. Maybe we should look into Kevin Cardwell then.
Sure.
What are Spencer Bradley and Owen Cardwell up to right now? Are they still in school or have they graduated?
They're very much still in school. This did not happen too long ago.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I can't be questioning minors, so...
The accident at Carroll Crossing was a few months ago. Like 3-ish, maybe 4.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think by this point they would be, sophomores?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can't coming up to minors all the time.
One of my shadows is high school age. Can I send her in?
Yeah, please do, actually. If you could get her to tail them and see if they talk about anything.
Oh, that's depressing. One's high school age?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, people die. I'm just kidding. That's actually really depressing.
I mean, people die.
Yeah, and
that was...
Unfortunately, Roxanne was there to see it. All right, that's unfortunate.
That's actually like the more I think about it, the sadder that sounds.
Yeah.
No, my skill is actually very sad.
That is actually really sad, Melanie.
My bad.
Can't believe you did this.
So if you want, Roxanne, how are you utilizing this shadow? How are you looking? It's obviously later, so these people are going to be home. I guess it doesn't matter the age of the shadow.
Are they into, what clubs are they into?
Wow, my brain instantly said Karuta.
You dweeb.
Yeah, definitely not that. I would say that they're just generally into sports, like whatever the current season is.
Boring.
Are there any upcoming games?
There's always an upcoming game. That's how it works.
Like within the next few days?
Currently with lacrosse season. That's the one with the stick, right?
Would it be weird for a strange girl to approach a team after they win?
Not
I
necessarily.
mean, if they're going to go partying, do they party afterwards?
Who doesn't? Yeah.
Then I want her to infiltrate a party.
Okay, so you're planning this for a couple days from now?
Yeah.
Okay. Jot that down so you don't forget. And the next plan is going to be in the morning. We're going to swing by this location here, roadside pickup. Do you guys want to get here before Marvin opens, like super early? Or you want to be there when his business is open?
I guess a little bit before.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So with Roxanne jotting that down, you all kind of go your separate ways. And noting, set a nice early alarm. Radaya, you got that extra early morning coffee, the good shit. Definitely going to need it.
Yep.
Definitely going to need it. We all head over to roadside pickups early in the morning. And you guys kind of pull off to the side. There isn't really somewhere you got to park to hide unless you really want to. But after waiting for maybe 10, 15 minutes, you guys see Marvin pull up in his truck. He kind of dolls around a bit, straightens up his his blue overalls and walks to the front to go open the business.
Is there anybody else around?
Just him.
I think this might be a good time to jump on him.
Who, Marvin?
Are we? Or no, wait. I'm sorry. Are we jumping him?
I'm not jumping him. Jump on him, as in like get the jump on him before anybody else shows up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I took that to mean jump him. That's clearly where my mind is at. Yeah, I think we should probably though.
All right.
All right, who is leading the approach?
Our goals are to figure out what he's doing with the ambrosia, or why he's getting it, or what?
Anything? Yes.
Well, because we want to get it off the street, and we don't want him wheeling and dealing it. Kind of why we took down his other thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's the big mastermind, right?
Yeah, even though he lied to us last time.
I mean, that's to be expected.
No, yeah, I just mean like, so he knows that we've talked to him before, and I've also questioned him about the red stuff, and he kind of denied it.
Right.
I want to know why he's doing this.
All right, you all see him getting ready to open the shop. Who wants to approach him first? Are you shouting from a distance, or are you guys getting close?
I guess we'll wait till he opens the door, and then we'll go in. Like, when he opens the door, I'm gonna kind of like be right behind him.
So you're right behind him?
Yeah, like I'll be walking on the street, like conveniently, right when he, is about to open the door, and then once the door is open, I'm gonna like,
He gets it unlocked. You guys are kind of, walking by, Xander being the closest. He just kind of sighs to himself, exacerbated, frustrated, just ugh. And as he's unlocking and he goes to open the door, you kind of go to approach him as he's like slinking on in. He's a pretty big dude in terms of just height and width. And he sees you, kind of pauses for a second as he's like going to close the door. You kind of stopped it on him, and you just kind of it gives you the look of like, huh? You're not sure if he recognizes you instantly.
is like my foot in the door, or
However you want to stop it, door stopped. He's like, giving me a look at his up to say, like, huh? What? Who are you? Like, why? And you can see his other hand is balled into a fist. He's ready to throw hands if he needs to, if you're trying to rob him or something. He's not sure.
you're a hard man to find, Marvin.
He smirks that and points with that balled fist, like, recognizing your accent. And he kind of just laughs at that and looks you up and down. The rest of you, how close are you?
I'm inside already.
Oh my god. I'm probably hanging back a little bit. Clearly as backup for Xander.
Fair enough. He definitely cannot see you, Roxanne. Where are you standing, Ridia?
Yeah, I don't know. Did I hang
Close.
back with the rest of you, or strolling along away too?
You can be with Moira for
Okay.
ease's sake.
Can I just say, like if Ridia actually looks like her little token, I just always find it funny. Like we're all like, give us your money. Not really like that. And then you just see Ridia like, hi. Like you see like this like cute little like anime character. Yeah. We're all like dark looking.
I think that actually seems super accurate.
No,
I love
it fits. It's funny.
I actually love that.
It also fits the world perfectly. So he gives you the look up and down, and he's thinking to himself for a second, very clear, like, all right, why are you bugging me in my shop this early? And he goes like, well, what can I do for you, Xander?
We got some stuff to talk about.
Your stuff is in like a business or what?
Sure, you can say business.
Yeah, sure. Those your friends out there?
Indeed.
All right, I assume they're going to be joining us.
Yeah.
He opens the door, waves to Moira and her Diaz to say, well, come on in.
Boo.
Come on in.
He actually jumps at that as you're directly behind him, Roxanne. He looks and says, oh, shit. Got a sneaky one over here. All right, well, come on, sit down. What questions do you got for me? And he closes the door, locks it, and just kind of motions to wherever you want to sit. It doesn't really matter.
So we all know that, do they have a name, the boiler hat guys?
They're just called the Enforcers.
So we all know that, these streets were, kind of being patrolled by some enforcers, right? Obviously, you've been hearing about, them kind of getting swept up.
Yep, I can say I have. One or two walked in here and definitely regretted it.
Well, as you remember last time we talked, I talked to you about some dealings that went on.
He nods.
I find it a little suspicious, right, that it just so happens that your men also happen to have the same abilities as these enforcers.
And what precisely would that be?
I think we both know what kind of things I'm talking about.
All right, well, let's make this easier, Xander and friends. If you got a question, you can just ask it. Are we dropping the pretense and just going?
Why are you doing it?
Why am I doing what exactly? What was your name again?
Roxanne, why are you beefing up your people?
Why you beefing? Sorry.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
That is
Pretty
definitely
much, what is your deal with the ambrosia, and what are you trying to peddle with it?
He narrows his eyes and says, "Were you all the ones that messed with my little operation?
I don't know. What operation are we talking about?
How do you know about the ambrosia? If we're being
Well,
honest with
like
each
I
other."
said, I came to you last time, and you said you had no idea about it.
Well, that's because you came to me as a citizen. Clearly, y'all know something a little extra.
How did we
Well,
find out?
I mean,
Was it because I
people were
worked
getting
there?
beat up?
it's not very
Shark
hard
lady,
to link
ain't that something?
things from one to the other, right? We came from an auction. They mentioned your name. I came to you and talked to you. You said you know nothing about it. And then all of a sudden, your men are all souped up, jacked up on some red stuff, and they're beating up the goons that have been terrorizing these streets. So, it's very easy. 1 + 1 = 2.
I can see how you made that connection. It's fair enough, I guess. But my boys have always been this, well, maybe not to this exact degree, but our place has been mostly clean of them enforcers. We've been keeping them on their toes.
Yes, but your men have special abilities. Not just, we're going to go fight some, ruffians.
Oh, no, like I said, Xander, I'm being honest now. My boys, as you refer to them, we've always had this ability, if you catch my drift, to protect ourselves.
So then why are you peddling with this ambrosia?
More efficient. I mean, if I was at the auction, so were you. What did you need it for?
Well, this isn't about me. Now, is it?
Not necessarily, but I'm being honest.
Well, if you're being honest, then I'll be honest. I'm trying to get rid of this off the street. We don't need random people who think they can just take it up and beat up whoever they want and strike fear, thinking they can muscle their way through everything.
As he's listening, he's kind of going over to the counter and redrawing various cups while sighing to himself. Maybe they didn't do the best job last night, and he's just kind of cleaning things up, wiping off various counters as he's listening to you. He says, I understand, but you'll have to understand, as I'm sure you're quite aware if you've run into these individuals, they're not normal, and I'm assuming if you're aware of them, none of y'all are normal as well. We need to find a way to defend ourselves and to find the kind people here. I'm not going to get pushed around.
I'm assuming you know what happened to Dawkins Sensitive, the building that burnt down.
I heard about it.
Is that all? You just heard that it burnt down? You didn't hear anything other?
It didn't look like it burnt down to me, but yeah, there was something bad happened to it. I assume, not blaming you, of course, but, folks such as ourselves, like you and me. There was something big and crazy happened to it. I don't think, a bomb went off or something? Another gas line? As he kind of rolls his eyes at that.
So if your men already had the powers before, then why do you need more of it?
More
I
potent.
can tell some of your guys are a little bit too addicted to it.
He kind of scrunches up his face at that. Addicted to it. It just gives him a little bit of a power boost. He kind of flexes a bit at that.
Oh no, it's not a little. Have you actually seen what it does to them?
I do believe I have, yes.
Recently?
Recently enough, whatever, 2 days ago? It seemed fine to me.
Have you not seen the side effects of what this drug does?
When you're talking side effects, what do you mean exactly?
People are combusting. People have fire burning through them.
One kid blacked out and became a completely different person.
Well, none of my guys are blacking out. They all seem fine to me.
One of your guys, who I had to pull off another, literally started combusting as I was pushing him away.
That is quite strange. Well, considering the supply chain's been interrupted, I guess we'll be putting a pause on our operations for a little while. I'll keep a closer eye on them, but I will say this, we will not be stopping. I cannot afford to.
All right, you still haven't said why, though.
I told you why, to defend ourselves.
From what?
From the same individuals that you brought up.
The enforcers are clearly not that big of a threat that you need to keep on enforcing the streets against them.
Listen, for a normal individual like, well, not currently like myself, but you need to see things from a street level, my friend. One of those enforcers, as you put it, they can easily take 10, 20 people by themselves. That kind of power, they can do whatever the hell they want. And I'm not letting that happen in my block. Like I mentioned before, this powder that I'm giving to my boys, it shouldn't be addictive. I'll definitely give it a look. Maybe there's something wrong with that pink stuff, the ambrosia, whatever it was. I'll give it a second look.
Maybe it's the mushrooms.
Oh, no,
To be
no.
honest, anytime somebody says the powder I'm giving my boys as not addictive sounds a little suspicious.
Oh, you're right. It does sound a little weird. I completely agree, but you'll have to believe me, we've been doing this for years. It's only recently we've been trying this newer stuff, and it's quite a bit more potent. And maybe the power's going to their heads, I don't know, but I've not seen anyone exploding or turning to fire, anything like that at all.
As you probably noticed, that there's not a lot of enforcers on the street anymore, so
That's
why do
true.
you need to keep on peddling?
Well, you use the word peddling like I'm selling it. I just give them to my boys. These aren't random people. I know them. I know them all by name.
Well, you are out there trying to find more stuff, because you said your little got kind of shish kebabbed, so clearly you want more of it, so why is that? When your streets are already safe.
Well, they're safe because I'm here. They're safe because I'm here to protect the people of this block. And if I'm not here, who knows what can happen? I saw things the way they were before, and I'll tell you right now, they weren't pretty, and it wasn't just the enforcers.
How long does the powder last?
You're not sure, but you know the ambrosia makes it last longer.
So if this powder, that you're giving your guys, and even because you said they already had powers before, then why do you need to go out and find more if your streets are already fine?
They're fine because I exist. Listen, we're talking in circles at this point. If I stop what I'm doing, if they stop what they're doing, one person can't turn the tides. There's more than just these enforcer fools on the streets. I've seen them. I've roamed around. There's some weird shit out there. If you say they're hurting people, burning things, I'll look into it, but we ain't gonna stop. I can't afford to. Made too many promises.
Well, I'm gonna let you know if I find any of your guys trying to kill people or brutally assault them, then it's not going to be good for them.
Listen, you see someone, you get a name, you write that down, and I'll take care of it, I promise. We're not looking to kill people, just looking to rough them up a bit.
That's what that one guy was trying to do, right? When he stabbed that guy?
He looked he was going too far, 100%.
Well, I believe around the corner at the back of the building there, you'll find a burnt-to-hand grip on the wall of one of your boys.
Well, I'll definitely take a look at it. Because y'all being so honest with me, I'm being honest right back. Like I said, I cannot stop, but I will 100% look into it. If it makes you feel any better, sure you're quite aware, the source has been tampered with. So I won't have any of the pink stuff. We're back to the way things were before. But yeah, you're right. Streets are cleaned up a bit, so won't need to, jump around quite as much as we were. Things are going to slow down, but you never know.
So you're saying you have these powers before you even take the powder?
He laughs and says, I'm just like you. I'm sure it's not really a surprise. I'm the one supplying it to them. I make it, they take it. It doesn't last that long, but it works.
Wait, you grow the mushroom?
Yeah, of course.
Wait.
Is that your power?
How do you-
or
Apparently, yeah, part of it.
It's such a weird power.
That is how did you actually... That's a really odd power. How did you discover that you could do that?
I will agree that it's definitely quite odd. I am culinarily inclined, though, so, well, the fact that I could create these little mushrooms, among other things, just kind of came to me one day. I tested with them a bit, and, my boys need to take them in a very particular form, but me and myself, I can eat them raw. It's not too big of a deal for me.
So pretty much Marvin power is to create these mushrooms. He's supplying it to his men, but hold on. So if he's supplying it to his men, then why is he out there trying to find more ambrosia? Or is the mushrooms different than the ambrosia to an extent?
Radiah found out, and so did Roxanne, when you poked your your connection. What's he called again? Your source?
My sponsor.
Your sponsor. She figured out that the powder by itself is functional. It works. But when mixed with the ambrosia, it lasts considerably longer. So as opposed to him having to give, new baggies out every night, it's probably once a week, maybe once a month. We don't know exactly how potent, but, less work for him.
Why is Marvin's tag imposing for him?
Because he's a big boy.
Oh.
He's thick.
How big are we talking?
He's got a big old beer gut. He's like 6-something. He's a big old lad.
Beer gut.
Big old
All
boy. He's got big old
Big
arms,
old
too.
boy.
He's a bear.
Is he taller than me?
I don't know. How tall are you?
6'2".
He's about that. He's around there. Round about those parts.
All right. We're looking for someone with extreme fire powers, so if your boys see him, please let us know.
Will do. When you say extreme firepower, what are you looking for exactly?
You know them fires that have been going around?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, that scale.
Also,
Not-
if you
not a
guys see a flying demon, let us know.
Hightail it away and then, let us know.
Like a literal demon.
Moira coughs.
Wings and
Yes,
all.
like a little flying thing that's on fire.
Well, all right. I'll definitely keep an eye out. In terms of fire, he holds his hand up and you see a little spark on the tip of his finger. He says, if we're being honest, everything on the table, I do have some ability myself, but I'm not the one setting the fires. Just in case you hear something, I don't want you coming back these spots.
All right, fair enough.
Definitely not enough to blow an entire building up. Shit, 2 buildings. Entire block. Definitely was not a gas leak, that's for sure. Well, I do have to open shop, so y'all need anything else?
Nope.
Nope.
Have a good day.
All right, y'all stay safe out there.
That's the most. Y'all stay?
Y'all come back now, you hear?
God bless her heart.
Oh, bless your heart, darling.
To declare.
That means go kill yourself in Southern.
Yeah,
What?
pretty much.
Oh my god.
Bless your heart. That is like the most passive aggressive. All right, so
Y'all come back.
he says with disdain. All right, so he, leads you all outward, and as he closes the door behind y'all, gives you a wave, and he just kind of heads back to opening shop.
All right.
And it is super early, so you guys got all day to do whatever.
Ah,
You guys feel like he's telling the full truth?
yeah. Honestly, he was pretty forthcoming with information once he realized that we were aware. And I'm inclined to believe him. But that means that these two things aren't connected, right?
Oh, and I
That
guess
doesn't mean one of his boys ain't selling it off to somebody else and gone rogue.
That is a good point.
That is a good point.
also, did anyone give him contact info, card, anything along those lines?
I always give people my info.
All right, just double checking.
That,
I
that
assume
sounds
he always
like
gives info.
that sounds like something I just made up on the fly.
No, I believe it.
But I think I have actually given my card to most people that we've interacted with, so I think that it stands to reason that I would do it this
Yeah,
time.
you 100% have. I'm just making sure, because, there's some folk we probably don't want to talk to.
Even if they don't want to, I insist that they take the card.
Excellent. Well, he's got it. And it
I
is
don't
indeed
even know what that card would say.
plenty of things. It's got your contact information that's not too, revealing.
It's just a black card, my
Yeah.
name and my number.
And the right
And then on
angle.
the background, it's a black card. And then on the other side, it just has 2 red eyes.
Spooky.
It's certainly a memorable card.
Well, I'm a Mothman. Not that they know that, but, saying. Didn't come from nowhere.
Alrighty. Early morning. Where do we head to next? Who do we look at? What's the plan? We can technically fast forward to what Roxanne wanted to do. No hurt there.
Is there more info on the burned down would-be mall location now that it's a day after?
Yes. It is sort of as guessed. The damage has been attributed to a gas leak. It is very much a tragedy, and people are doing what they can to help clear the locations out and everything of that nature.
Quote unquote gas leak.
That is the story they're going with.
Would it be worth it to sneak around the area?
I mean, if you want info.
I want to sneak around the area.
All right, it is it's definitely a disaster. Multiple buildings are just completely ash at this point. They are mostly still standing. One or two of them have collapsed in on themselves. But anyone living in there that was caught in the upper floors, they might not have made it. People's stuff definitely is all still in there. Whatever was in there, of course. By this point, firefighters are doing what they can to ensure nothing continues, but all the fires are out. It's just smoke. There's tape everywhere to make sure you all don't get close. But moving on in, Roxanne, to, be nosy, get information. What are you looking for?
Well, I want to find the source.
Okay. This will take you a little while. So while you're kind of snooping around, is the rest of the team doing anything in particular? Or are we just generally hitting the street and just looking about?
I guess I'm just hitting the street.
Smacking the pavement? All right, then for Roxanne, real quick and easy. This is obviously not your area of expertise. You're not really sure what a gas leak would even look like. But you kind of have a general idea. Or at least what it shouldn't look like. It takes you some time. Some hours, of course. You're snooping in and around. Most of the firefighters and folk here are on the outside perimeter, trying to move people out, get them away. There are plenty of people that are crying for their homes, and people that were lost, family members, things of that nature. It's not a very happy scene, but it does allow you to move in with relative ease. And as you begin to kind of look around, Roxanne, you don't see anything that screams like explosion or gas leak, anything big at least. It's really difficult to pinpoint anything. It's a lot of fire. It's a lot. But you begin to look around, and you notice near the back of a couple of these buildings, you see a location that looks like this might have been where the fire started. And one of them is a garbage bin, but it looks as if it were positioned near one of the back doors and like shoved in almost to like block the back door. Another one you can see in one of the collapsed buildings. Again, you see various bins and like barrels that have been piled up in an area that were kind of knocked over, but you can tell they were once piled up by the burn lines, melt lines, things of that nature. You can tell they kind of, match up like Legos. These also don't belong here either. They're in like some back room. Maybe like the what's it called? Stairwell? In the stairwell. These do not belong here. 100%. Should not be here.
What are they?
Like barrels. Those don't belong in the middle of a stairwell.
Do they look like extremely damaged?
Very much so. If anything, looking around them, they look like this might have been where the fire started. And that makes no sense either. There's very easy access to the stairwell from another one of the back doors. And you can see from multiple buildings, it looks like multiple fires were started, and each of them were just weird. Just very, very odd. You see a window that was broken inward into a back room that looks more damaged than the rooms around it. It almost looks as if the ash and everything, the fire, moved outward from this location. So spending some hours here, Roxanne, you can determine that pretty much every, you're not a professional, but every fire you see here looks like they were man-made.
Can I scoop up several samples of soot? Because an alchemist will be able to figure out some substances from the soot, right?
Yeah. And other than that, that's essentially all you find here, but that's some pretty good information.
All right, well, I will go and find Rodiah.
Okay. Would you be at your shop, Rodiah, or somewhere else?
Did we all go hang around there?
You guys are kind of just...
We're all hanging... Yeah.
You're kind of just doing whatever right now, for the most part. It's like midday.
Oh, okay. Maybe I could be in the shop then.
Text Rodiah, I have some soot for you to test.
Oh, bring it by.
I found some dirt. You want it?
It's not dirt, it's soot.
All right. It's about midday, Roxanne. You're able to swing by Rodiah's, and you bring a little baggie of soot. Did you take multiple samples?
Yeah, multiple.
Perfect.
Okay, where did you find these? Where was this bag from, or where's that bag from, or where's that bag from?
From here, from there, and from there.
Okay.
Suspicious
label,
windows, and where was the third location?
They're all just weird locations. So there's more than 3, yeah.
Put them in vials, labels them, puts them in her bag.
Alrighty, and for this, I will not have you roll either. It's a relatively simple task. You determine that there is definitely an accelerant found within the ashes and the soot that Roxanne brought to you in each of these locations. It's not necessarily the exact same accelerant, but it's all like some form of gas or something.
Okay.
Very similar.
Like an average, easy to get?
Yes, something you could easily buy at like a, any like one-stop shop.
This was a setup fire. Not magically, not demon hinted. But at least accelerant, something.
Yeah, it definitely seemed man-made. So we can't tell anything else?
Oh, are you looking for anything else?
Oh,
No.
would there still have been demon magic fire to ignite it when I find that from the ashes?
No,
Someone would have had to start it.
it's boringly normal. These 100% look man-made. Probably just a match or something.
This is getting fishier and fishier.
Yeah, it is.
We have demons starting fires and then people trying to blow up a block and call it a gas leak.
I mean, they're capitalizing, I guess. That implies there might be some enemies, but it wouldn't be someone from the town because they blew up their own area. Is there anyone who gets like insurance money from those buildings going down?
Well, was they independently owned, or were they kind of low-income houses that may have been run by the city to begin with?
Yeah, they're definitely run by the city. So this probably is an insurance fraud. And Roxanne, as you were leaving, there were already some machines pulling up, demolition team, ready to knock everything down. There's no way these can be salvaged.
All right, then I guess we're done here.
Did you want to wait to that big game, Roxanne, and be nosy?
Yeah.
All right, anyone?
Wait, I want to be nosy.
That's
It's literally my job.
You all can be nosy. Nothing wrong with that. Are we doing anything between now and then?
No. I'm good at work.
All right, that very much works. During that time, about a day or two have passed. The construction team very much moves quickly to get this all knocked down. They're still talking about it in the news. They're reaching out to the various people's stories and things of that nature, and that whole spiel. And Roxanne and Moira, we'll say you'll show up because why the hell not? There is indeed a big lacrosse game, home team, that whole caboodle. What is your plan of attack? What are we doing here?
I mean, I just want my poor high schooler Shadow to blend in with the girls and wander with them to the party.
Okay.
Blend in with the girls. GURLF.
GURLZ.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a different vibe.
Z?
Just saying. Girls.
Where are my? Where's my token?
Where my girls though? Have a token.
It's this one.
It is this girl.
See how cute she is?
Very cute. Alrighty. After the big game, they win. Huzzah! And they head off to a party. You're basically just having her follow to be nosy.
Yeah.
All right. Since this party is going to last a couple hours, what are you listening in for?
Listen in for any talk from those two kids that may relate to the murder.
She might have to instigate a conversation along those lines. Get them thinking about it, though.
To be honest, I think teenage boys love to brag.
I mean, that's true. So it shouldn't take much instigation. I also want her to keep an eye open if they go towards a back room somewhere.
Definitely. So they very much don't do that, but they're loud. They boast. You push a little bit, and there's definitely alcohol flowing. There's no adults here, and if there are, then they're being, maybe responsible, but with how much alcohol, probably not. And as he's kind of telling a story, one kind of girl walks off, and he gives her a look and says something rude to her as a couple people laugh. But your girl, little Shadow, she seems interested, and she kind of pushes the point. And as she does, you notice that both Owen and Spencer are hanging out along with the rest of the team, but it seems Owen's kind of leading things. A lot of people kind of put him in the center of every conversation. He semi-frequently will interrupt people, and they don't keep talking. They sort of almost instinctually just shut up and allow him to say what he's going to say, usually not going back to continue with their sentence. He continues along with this route. You feign swoon, and all that extra nonsense, but you do notice something. Roxanne's Shadow number 468. Spencer, he seems, every time attention's brought away from him, whenever he sips at, whatever he's drinking, he seems out of it, tired. You catch him kind of just 1,000-yard staring occasionally until attention's brought back to him, and he just turns the charm right back on, starts talking with people. Owen's not the case, though. He wants to be the center of attention. And you do sort of hear them lament. What was that one kid's name that we were playing with that was always hanging out with us? Oh yeah, that little guy, the one with the stutter. Da, da, da. And they don't bring up any names, but they're like, oh, shame he's still not around. Da, da, da. This would be a lot more fun. And as he's kind of saying that, you see a couple of dudes from the team, specifically Owen. They're scanning the crowd, maybe looking for someone else to play with, poke fun at. They don't really seem to lock on anyone, so we kind of just and maybe tells a story or two that isn't really too savory, and your character's there to egg him on. And he's not a complete, faucet of information, but being drunk, he doesn't really seem to be too ashamed of anything.
Would it be horribly rude of her to sidle up to Spencer and ask him how he, flirtily ask him how he is after,
Sure. Maybe the group kind of breaks up a bit. People go their own ways. Owen's kind of doing his own thing while hanging with people, fires off doing their story, and she kind of wiggles on up to Spencer and asks how things are. He doesn't really recognize you necessarily, but
she's pretty enough to fake it good.
Yeah, she's cute. Maybe he's not really thinking. Maybe he does recognize you. He'll pretend like he does. She's cute enough. He's fine. Of course he's fine. Why wouldn't he be fine? But Roxanne, you've spoken with plenty of people. You know what not okay looks like. He's not okay.
Well, she will say that.
He's in a fake mask, does not come off the whole time. He takes another swig, and if anything, he kind of fires off into his own story of like, oh no, I'm fine. This, that, and the other. I just I dropped the ball like once in the game, and I can't get that off my mind. You know how it is. Like, we could have won by more, right? Rub it in their faces, and he kind of shouts that up, and people cheer him on. And oh, screw me though, right? Oh, more practice, blah blah blah, this and the other, and he's definitely diverting the conversation.
Is she gonna keep pushing?
Yeah. Anything else, or?
I'm trying to decide. The only way I'm thinking that she could potentially push far harder would be a little mean.
You definitely get the feeling that he's just gonna drink it up and party. So I'm not sure what you're thinking, but he doesn't seem like an entirely closed book. He doesn't want to talk though. You can tell. You're gonna have to squeeze it out of him.
Does he look like she'd have to squeeze it out now, or would he maybe come to her later?
Later as another day?
Yeah.
He might.
But like if she strongly hints, "Hey, I'm here if you need to talk."
Sure.
I'll have her play up the flirty. I'm here for you if you need some comfort.
Yeah, I don't know how the logistics of that works with your shadow, but
I mean, I'm figuring I'm giving her a shit ton of energy right now, so she's very physical.
Yeah. And he's drunk enough that it's not going to matter. Also, if he's not touched, doesn't matter again. He just sees a person. So yeah, he takes your request seriously. You can tell. You don't know when he'd reach out, but probably. What information do you give him to reach out?
Moira's number.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, that works.
Disguised as a very cute handwritten girly note.
Sure, you've seen her hand that card out enough. You probably memorize the number by now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to text me though to let me know that you've given my...
absolutely. In fact, I'll probably have this shadow hang around you for a little while in case she needs to answer the phone or something.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'll have her cheer him on for his next game and wink and leave.
Sure. And that party will go where that party goes. And realistically, we can kind of just have that night burn out as we move on to the next day. And as we are angrily typing away.
There's no anger there.
I know. It's just your keyboard's so loud. It sounds so aggressive.
Well, buy me a new one then.
No, that is a new one.
It's
Why
old
can't
now.
you get one of those ones that sounds like really soft and cloud-like?
Good. I just went.
Those are expensive.
No, not really. It just the keyboard looked cool. I didn't look at what the I forgot what they're called. Switches are. What color the switches are?
Bum bum bum.
They're the loudest ones.
Ooh,
And now you're paying for it.
Mine are very clickety clackety too. I like them clickety clackety.
I do too, but it's bad with mics.
Yeah, it's really bad. Every time she pushes to talk, I can hear the click before everything she says if she pushes too hard. So I have to edit out every single time she talks. It's very annoying.
That is annoying.
Oh.
Yeah. Only when she aggressively pushes it, though. When she's softer, I don't hear it. Yeah, I'm hearing that. Your mic turned on, but I didn't hear it. All right, anyway, next day. Any leads you want to follow? Anyone we want to talk to? Any like looking arounds and going arounds we want to mess with?
Were we able to look into Kevin Cardwell at all? I mean,
Oh,
obviously we went to see the kids, but
actually, Roxanne, you had a question near the beginning of the campaign. I said wait till after the day. What was that question? I told you to circle it. Oh, you want to know about the boy? Yes.
Yeah. Reginald?
Yes. Okay, cool. So you've already rolled on that. I can give you some information on this individual. You learn that he is a man that's in about his mid to late 40s. He used to work at a family psychiatrist, and I say used to because it seems it's been closed down. You learn that because it was in the news, impossible to miss. His son was indeed Aaron Albright, and he's the one that passed away at Carroll Crossing. About, I would say, it looks like in terms of dates, his office closed about a month plus after he lost his son. And other than that, he was fairly well known. He had a lot of well known clients and such. He ran a small business, but he had been running it for a while. People knew him, basically, I would say. Which is why it's odd that he just closed up shop suddenly and gone, just completely off the face of the earth. No one knows where he is.
Oh, he's gone?
Yeah, he's also completely gone. So the information you basically got is some dude in his 40s.
So this is the second MIA we've gotten?
Yeah. Your information just runs completely cold after that. Unless there's something specific you want to know about him. You know who his son was. You know his place of business. There was nothing weird or strange about it. Nothing illegal. He just ran a psychiatric help. No red flags. No weird history.
So is the building itself not worth checking out?
We'll say that was checked out as well. Nothing. Literally just one day, close up shop. Building's empty. Took everything with him. And he ran he ran it. It was something he ran by himself. So if he had associates, it would have been like a secretary and that's it. But other
all right.
than that,
Well, I trust my sponsor, so I guess that's a dead end.
Yeah. Effectively a dead end to a weird point, I'd say. Normally he can dig up some more information. The fact that this person just completely went cold is very odd, and your sponsor makes a note of that.
Did he have any connections to the boys' fathers? Like maybe as patients?
There's a possibility, but due to the whole doctor-patient confidentiality, it's impossible to tell. He took everything with him. Possibly, though, he did see some pretty high-tier customers, local celebrities and such. Other than that, were you asking a question, Moira?
About Kevin Cardwell?
Yes. What you want to know about him?
I just want to know if I can connect him to Spencer Bradley or Philip Bradley. It looks like he might be involved in any of the weird stuff.
Weird stuff, you're not sure, but they definitely worked together in the past. Currently, they weren't working together publicly, but Kevin 100% knew Philip.
Okay. But, yeah, all right. Not really a lot to go on, though.
Not really too much. No, nothing stands out to you.
I wish I could get their financials. That was pretty much it, though.
Okay.
For me.
We can also say in the upcoming days or so, violence has definitely slowed down in the streets. Roxanne and Xander, as you guys kind of do your nightly walks and such, you maybe see some of Marvin's guys moving about, but they're not really doing anything too major. If you even see them at all, they don't wear anything in particular, so they don't stand out. They just look like every other person. You don't really see any enforcers, so that's definitely slowed down. You guys, disrupting that den definitely put a hamper in this. He did say he wasn't going to stop, and he was going to look into it, though, to see if that was actually causing a problem. And if it wasn't, you know that he's going to continue, of course. But we are keeping an eye out. Obviously, you don't... Well, I think you gave out your information anyway, even though they don't have a phone. So that's worth noting, I guess.
Well.
But after a few days, we'll say Moira, at about midday, you get a phone call.
Okay. I pick up.
And it's a phone call from Mr. Staup, Marvin. And you pick up. You don't hear anything initially after you pick up. You hear breathing. You think you hear something fall over and clatter.
Okay.
And then you hear
Do they not say anything?
After a couple seconds, you hear a hello.
Hello?
Another grunt. Something else getting pushed over. And then clattering to the floor. And then you hear some shuffling about. Maybe the phone being pulled up proper to his face. And you hear heavy breathing before he speaks again. And he says, "Is this that, what was your name? Moira spoke to you the other day, right?"
Yeah, you did.
What was that thing y'all said that you saw my men doing?
Was it the burning stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I say that.
He coughs a couple times, it sounds.
Wait a sec, are you Are you in trouble?
It sounds really rough. And he says, I think so. I saw something weird. Someone was following me around. It definitely wasn't one of my boys. It might be that thing that y'all mentioned.
The little demon things? Where are you?
I'm, and he gives you a location that takes him a couple seconds as if he's like looking around, trying to figure out like, shit, where am I? And he eventually gives you, it's a location that's maybe like 2-3 miles from where his shop is.
What time of day is it?
It's about like 1 afternoon.
I say, well, does he need help?
He coughs again and says, I think something's following me. I came here to the park to, I don't know, get it out in the open and maybe it can't get me, but I swear.
You know what? I'm heading your direction. Let me shoot a text to my friends and stay on the phone.
All right, I'll do my best. If I just keep my lookout, it shouldn't get me.
All right, I send his location to everybody else.
Okay.
And I'm like, maybe a problem. Heading over, and I go.
As you're texting and kind of messing with it, you hear as your phone's down in your hand, you hear him go shit, and then the phone just cuts out.
I say definitely a problem, and then I run.
All right, you text all of your allies. It's essentially a park, not the nicest park. It's we've seen nicer. It's more just a stretch of grass and some old monkey bars and swings, chutes and ladders and such for the children's. Somewhere to walk your dog and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time you get there, it's like a little after 1. It's not too late. You will arrive, and you do see Marvin off in the distance. He's real difficult to miss considering his size. He's leaning up against a tree.
Is he alive?
Yeah, I dash over.
He's standing. He's just leaning up against it.
I race over with my healing bag of tricks.
As y'all run over, he turns, and you can see the front of his chest looks like something scratched him, like right dead center. And his overalls, they're like ripped through the blue and the red. And he goes, shit, it's still moving about. Don't get close to me. It'll get you too.
Is there anything we can do?
Yeah, where is it?
Yeah,
it's moving about in the shadows. I swear, I'm not gonna let it get me.
I pay attention to the shadows.
As you're looking about, you definitely feel uncomfortable, as if something's watching you and maybe warbling about. Xander, as Radiah and Roxanne moved forward, where are you positioned?
Where's Marvin?
Marvin's leaning up against a tree. He's about 10-15 feet from Radiah and Roxanne.
Can you explain the kind of like the location a little bit better?
Yeah, you're in a park. There are some people like 50-60 feet away from y'all. There's just trees everywhere. In this area is just trees. It's like for picnics and such.
How does he look also when you're done?
Sweaty. Scared.
Can we tell what the scratch marks are from?
You just see 3 long slashes across his chest.
Does it look like he's sweating?
Oh yeah.
Is it like he's overheating?
Possibly. It's really difficult to tell. Xander, so where would you be?
I would say like 30 feet away from him.
Okay. As his eyes are jumping between all of you, his eyes stop past Radiah, past Roxanne, on Xander. He's staring at you. And a look of like frustration and kind of fear jumps across his face for a second. As he points at Xander, he says, it's standing behind y'all. It's right there. It's gonna get you.
Is there a reason why you're pointing at me, Marvin?
He shakes his head and he grabs his head as he hears you speaking and goes, shit, what? It sounds like that guy. And he really starts getting frustrated. He leans against the tree and you can kind of hear it creak.
I'm going to move towards him a little bit.
As you begin to move towards him, you can feel your amulet begins to burn against your chest, Xander. And he says, don't get any closer.
You said my amulet is burning?
Yeah, you can feel it heating up.
And you said all we can see really is him sweating and he has slash marks on him?
Yeah.
I'm going to do like a spell that's like sense demonic energy around me.
Okay. As you do this, Xander, almost entirely coming from Marvin, you sense an aura of dread. Completely unmistakable. He is radiating this energy.
Like evil energy?
All over, head to toe.
Guys, there's not a lot of good energy coming off of Marvin right now. Like a lot of bad juju.
And as you say that, he looks up at you, Xander, and his eyes, he looks gone. He looks like he's completely somewhere else.
I'm going to instant like when I see him do that, I'm gonna like cast a spell to like lock him to the ground.
Okay. You're able to do that, and he doesn't really respond initially. Are they like your normal chains?
Yeah.
Okay. You're able to actually do that. He doesn't really seem to resist initially. If anything, he looks like he's like resisting what he's resisting. It's very odd. He intentionally is not fighting back, and he's chained down for a moment, and his muscles relax. He's looking around, and then he looks at your group, and Radai and Roxanne. Amoy, you're standing back a little bit, so he's not really focusing on you, more so the two up front. He gives the two of you the same scared look that he gave Xander. And he says, "You're all trying to take it from me. I won't let you hurt them. It's not happening." And he pulls upward, ripping the chains out of the ground. He then reaches into his back pocket, and he pulls out a little mushroom. It looks very similar to the one that you guys saw, whole, all in one piece. And you remember he said he was the only one that could take the raw mushrooms because only he can handle it. And with a real quick, swift as the wind, he pops this sucker out, shoves it into his mouth, and you see his already impressive form grow. Not necessarily twice his current size, but this man is beef from head to toe. And you can see his eyes get wider as the glow gets brighter. He chomps down this mushroom. He looks at all y'all and says, "Here we go!" And just screams and runs at you all. Specifically you, Xander. And we'll pause there.
I don't like that.
That was definitely a voice choice.
Yeah.
Definitely intentional.
That was really something.
Oh, bunny.